How are you this week, Leigh? Welcome aboard.
I am good, Maxie. I am here, and we're on a Friday. This is as live as it
I was
gets.
going to say it's as live as it gets, and it's a good Friday. I know the weather up in Brisbane hasn't been the best, but it's really beautiful morning down here today.
Yeah,
The
bit of
sun.
rain, bit of rain. I've got the window open. I don't know. We just had the most lovely flock of lorikeets fly by, and they were all tweeting. So I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but
I can
yeah,
hear.
we I think we got showers later, but yeah, it's been a bit of rain around in Brizzy, but yes, it's nice to be here after we both just said what a week.
Yeah,
It's nice to
it's
be
been a big
sitting
week.
here with you to just like what have we got? Let's have our little weekly catch up to share with the world.
There's a lot to catch up this week, and the good thing is too. I know we've have a lot of people listening, all from all over the world, and you've probably noticed that we haven't had a guest the last couple of weeks, and the reason is we're banking our guests for when Lee's away in a couple of weeks.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we do have some great guests coming. So if you
We
are
do.
hanging out each Friday for us to chat to a guest, they're
Yeah.
coming. So
So what am I saying? If you're sick of us,
you're stuck
it
with
gets
us.
better. Hang around. It's like it's not that people don't want to talk to us anymore. We're just saving them.
Same.
Some great guests, been some great chats, and we've got two more on Monday, which
Two
is two
more.
in a day.
Two big ones, and then we'll probably
Woo,
record our own again for that week. So
I know. Woo.
we might even do the trifecta,
Pod,
the three.
Podcast Central next week. Woo,
Happy days.
alrighty. So
The
so
quote,
start us off with the quote, Maxie. What do we got today?
yeah, the quote this week, Leigh. It's always the simple that produces the marvelous.
Yes.
Simple stuff equals
Don't
great things.
don't
Marvelous.
overcomplicate things.
Yeah. Just the fact that you're breathing, you're moving forward, you're tying your shoelaces in the morning, the sun's coming up. You know, that's a good
Keep
thing.
it simple.
Keep it
Keep
simple.
it simple. So absolutely.
I really
Or
like that
don't they
one.
say that the simple ideas can often be the best? So great quote, Maxie.
And
And
adding on to that, don't overcomplicate things. You know,
yeah,
things aren't broken. Don't try and fix it.
don't fix it.
Just keep rolling with the punches.
And it's like that when sometimes the first idea is the right idea. Just go with your gut.
Run with the gut. Run with the gut. What is it? The
Absolutely.
three things: you got your gut, the heart, and the head. You know,
Yes.
the gut and the heart and the head. If they all line up together, you're on the
Yes.
path. But sometimes,
And don't they sometimes say the gut is like hang on, I'm going to get this wrong. Is it that your head hasn't worked out what your heart's like? Well, anyway,
it's the heart's closer to the stomach, probably.
back to the original quote, Maxie. It's keep it simple. I was getting in way too deep there. Way too deep. Okay, so good news. Good news of the week.
We do have some good news.
We do.
Yeah, some good news this week, Leigh. You did a few notes because I just come off shift this
Yes,
morning.
I did. I did.
Yeah, I'll get you to kick off.
Okay,
some of
so I went to Melbourne. So we went. I went on a 48-hour whirlwind trip to Melbourne town, and it was wonderful. A bit chilly down there in Melbourne, but what a great city for anyone who
coffee.
does. I was going to say anyone who doesn't know much about different cities in Australia, because they all do have like their own kind of personality. Melbourne, the home of coffee, you never get a bad coffee in Melbourne.
What do they say? Adelaide, city of churches, but they
Churches.
blew up the parliament. The mayor of Adelaide said
Mm.
it would be known as the city of churches anymore. And they don't want to be called Radelaide as well. It was like there was this big thing about what little towns or towns and cities are known for, and Adelaide blew up. So
Exactly. What is wrong with Radelaide? That's a great
yeah,
name.
it's pretty cool. I think they're just
That's
like, oh, it's a bit, I don't know.
that's like
It was
saying
Radelaide
like
and city of churches. It makes them sound boring, and I don't know. Anyway, but it's a great
Adelaide's
city.
great.
Oh,
Anyone
city.
like get out of the into the Barossa. They've got it all going on in Adelaide.
They've got some nice beaches.
That'd be like saying we don't want to be Bris Vegas anymore.
What's Sydney?
Well, Apologies to all our friends in Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney is
Just Sydney.
Sydney's just Sydney. It's like, you people from Sydney would say it needs no explanation.
Yeah, Sydney. The
Yeah.
harbour. The harbour.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly. All right, we'll come back to that. So Melbourne, great food. We met some amazing people. Caught up with some teachers, and yeah, it was really, really great. And I actually went traveling with a very, very good friend of mine who I have met for and known for a few years, who I have met through Business Chicks. And very excitingly, Jenny, who I travelled with, is going to come on our Live, Learn, Survive board.
Yes. So welcome, Jenny.
Welcome, Jenny. Jenny. So good they named her twice, is what I kept saying about her in Melbourne. Vast business experience. Very, very lucky to have her joining us. So,
It's awesome. It's good. You have people that have companies and charities and so on. That you need to have a strong board. You need to have a board that's quite diverse and everyone brings something to the table. And definitely, Jenny has been your friend for a couple of years, but she's also helped us the last couple of months, or
yeah,
last 6 months probably,
yeah,
with Live, Learn, Survive. So it's awesome to have someone that's invested and is
yeah.
keen to help us grow and bring more to
Yeah,
the table.
because it's so important that a charity thinks like a business from a point of becoming sustainable.
Yeah.
So, if you bring a business mentality to a charity, then you've got growth. You can scale it. It's sustainable, and then you reach the ultimate goal, which why Live, Learn, Survive exists, is to advance the education of children.
Yes.
That is our, for the Australian Charities and Non-Profits Commission, that is our vision, advance the education of children. So, the smarter we are, the smarter we operate, the more kids get the benefit. So,
100%. And adding on to
excellent.
that, with creating little superheroes has been our saying for the last probably 6 to 12 months about creating little superheroes to survive their worst day. And we've come up with other little ways where really punchy, live, learn, survive, teaching kids and adults life skills to survive their worst day. So that's where we're rolling with now, and it's exciting. And when I'm adding on to the next thing, we're having more meetings with MPs. You had a meeting with an MP up in
I did
Brisbane this week, and I've organised a federal MP meeting and also a state federal meeting here in Sydney over the next couple of weeks. And it's exciting. These are people that make decisions, and they're coming to the table to understand more about Live, Learn, Survive and what we're trying to achieve by educating more kids in our local
and
area.
more and more people are knowing what we're doing, which is amazing. So been lots of good news and things like that happening, and it looks like it's good things are always ticking away in the background when it's not always obvious. So what else have we got?
We've got a couple of other things. Today is the end of season for the lifeguard. So for my season 17, 17 years as a lifeguard, going into 18. Technically, we work all year round, so it doesn't mean much. But our end of season get together is tonight down at Woolloomooloo, which is exciting. We don't work with as many lifeguards that we did in the past because there's two different sides to the roster. So it's a good way for all of us to get together and talk some stories. And we did have an immense, busy, crazy summer down on the beach.
Yeah.
When I talk about the job of the week, I've got another job to share for this episode. So
you said like in the thick of it in summer that it was one of the craziest seasons in a long time, and yes, I'm sure much of that will be documented and captured when Bondi Rescue starts to play out.
Yes, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I was having a chat with Laurie Williams, and we've had Laurie on this podcast before.
We have the Bondi historian,
and he was telling me some of the records for the longest serving lifeguards, and the longest serving lifeguard's 31 years.
Wow.
So I'm at 17. There's a few other lifeguards obviously in front of me. Hoppo's been there for 30. Something. But basically, I think, I'm aiming. I'm looking in a perfect world, and technology and AI and drones don't take our jobs as lifeguards. I'm hoping to do, at least another 12 years, as in just being on the books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I technically could be the youngest, the longest, and the oldest if I get
That's
to.
the trifecta.
That's the trifecta. If I get to like H Man did, everyone remembers H
Yeah.
Man. If I get to H Man, if I get to 64, I think when he retired, yeah, it'll be X amount of years, and I'll
Do
be
you know
able
what? I
to
think
sleep
then
through the
somebody,
night.
it'll take a long time because, like you were on their school, you were literally put your school satchel down
Yeah,
and
straight in there.
walked into the tower.
Yeah,
It was like literally. So
I know it's a bit random to say, but it was just
I'm
cool to hear that, and you
just putting
forget,
it out there.
yeah,
The youngest, the oldest, and the longest.
serving, yeah. So
We'll
yeah,
call that. We'll call that your.
the
That can be a
typical.
working title for your autobiography that I can write on a beach somewhere.
In
Back in the day.
back in the
Anyway,
day,
so excellent, Maxie. Well done. So,
unfortunate event.
right, unfortunate event.
I've actually got one this week.
Have you?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll let
I
you
reckon.
share, Lee, because I let you say
Well,
yours.
I think it's just been my whole week this week. So, I've got one word to describe this week: brutal.
What's
So I've been
another word?
trying.
What's another word you just said, but I had to bleep it?
I probably couldn't even say some of the words that I've said this week on our PG podcast. Yeah, been brutal. Obviously, I think we touched on last week's that my dad had gone into hospital, bless him, and my dad was out of hospital. So my poor dad copped me as nurse for this week because my sister was been in work and my sister's been trying to save a bit of carers leave, and my dad lives on his own, so he's not, they wanted to keep an eye on him for a few days. He can't lift anything, he can't drive anything. And it's just, we talked and celebrated the amazing people that are nurses last week. I am not one of them. And I've been making the soups, I've been making him eat well. He's had his veggies, it's been a lot, Maxie.
Yeah. Well,
It's been a lot.
it is
So,
5 days coming into the
too
weekend.
many doctors. And then, I have, it's all right. As I'm doing this, my husband's in the supermarket sending me a shopping list. And then I've had a very, very dear friend in England who's had a really, really emergency health scare this week that has wobbled me, but he's good, he's home. And I'm just like, anything else? I think my fairy godmother is on shots at a party somewhere, having a right old giggle, knowing that we go to England in 10 days. Well, not we as in me and Andrew, go to England in like 10 days. Someone's having a giggle with my if I'm puppets on a string,
Well,
they're
hopefully,
just going, make a dance a bit faster.
hopefully, we have a saying in the forest and lifeguards, things come in three. So hopefully, there's only two things. So
Don't give me another. Don't give me
that's what
another.
I mean. Hopefully, there's no third. So, no, stay strong, get through it.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. And I've just replied to Andrew, yes, I do need a leek because I'm making my dad leek and potato soup. So I'm just, not as we're recording this, but, I'm just sorting the people out.
Yeah. Well, mine this week is
So
very
tell me,
random.
Maxie, how are you?
Very random. I'm on the scooter and
Not the scooter again.
just had a real, like, I did nothing wrong. I didn't do anything illegal, nothing. But the car in front of me just had this burst of road rage and was very angry. He was like kind of brake testing me and like just doing all these things, yelling out stuff. And I was just like, oh, like it's just real. Just I don't know. Like obviously I didn't take it to heart because the person doesn't know who I am or whatever.
No.
Like you couldn't see I have a helmet on and I'm
Yeah.
dressed up and stuff.
Mm.
It was just like I don't know. It was just real like I know people get road rage, when they're driving around traffic and they get lost, they get flustered and stuff. But I don't know, like going to accidents and seeing things happen on, out in the road. You can see how accidents do happen when people be silly and try to cause accidents. And he was trying to cause an accident, and it was just I just ended up just slowing right down and just I didn't engage, and because that's when they want you to engage or they want you to
Absolutely.
and as soon as you flare up or as soon as you do, then that's when things escalate. So
Absolutely. Never, ever, ever.
not bothering.
Like, it's just, you know, what I don't know why people do that. Tailgating's a thing in Brisbane. People,
Brake testing's the worst because when people are pressing on their brakes, you got the back of them, then you're
yeah,
for the damage, and it's just not fair.
nah,
Right. So
nah. You know what? Pull over, take a left turn,
yeah, I did. And then,
just, and just think, you know what? Whatever's going on in that person's world, just
yeah.
step outside, breathe, and it's just not worth
It
it.
makes you just realise, just one altercation or one mishap or one
Yeah,
argument could turn deadly or could turn into something real bad for one or the other. So your whole life can change
absolutely.
if you engage.
And they have.
Just walk
I
away.
mean, back in the, like you wouldn't, because of road, you wouldn't even, I would never beep somebody because you just don't know how they're going to turn. And it's just like,
I just don't know what this person's issue was, but
step
it is
away,
what it is.
people.
It is what it is.
Just, there's a lot going on in the world at the minute. Everyone just,
There is.
just calm the farm, people. Just
There is.
calm. Breathe.
Anyway, dad jokes.
Breathe. Oh, dad jokes. Hang on. Oh, I had another good news story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm all over the place, Maxie. Sorry, let me hear this nice story because it's a nice one.
Yep.
So we're in the US, Minneapolis. A boy had a hot dog stand outside the front of his home, selling $2 hot dogs with $1 sodas, and he was earning money for school clothes. Bless him. Someone, probably like the kind of guy riding his brakes, contacted the email complaint to the Minneapolis Health Department saying this was an illegal business. A kid trying to raise money for school clothes. But hats off to the authorities. They didn't close him down. They equipped him with thermometers, food containers, hand sanitizer, and utensil cleaning stations and offered him guidance on proper food handling and even covered the $87 for his short-term permit. This support caused his business to flourish. He began selling between 100 and 150 hot dogs a day. And his auntie always told him, can't nobody stop you but you. If you say I can't do that, when you're just setting yourself up for failure. So hats off, little man. Got his school uniform. The authorities, hats off to them for backing him, not putting him down. There you go. That was a good news story.
It's a great news story. So thank you for sharing. It goes to show, a negative into a positive, and
exactly
the support and the backing that you need. So
yes. So sorry, Maxie, I've gone out of sync with that one, but anyway,
it's all good.
Dad joke.
So that unfortunate event. So yeah,
Yes.
Dad joke. I've got two here.
All right. Okay. Go for
why
it,
did the
Maxie.
belt get arrested?
Oh, why did the belt get arrested, Maxie?
He held up a pair of pants.
And I'm sure his defence was he was only doing his job.
Yeah.
Oh.
What have you got?
All right. So, are people born with a photographic memory, Maxie? Or does it take time to develop?
It takes time to...
Oh.
All right, I got one here.
Okay.
I entered 10 puns in a contest to see which would win. No pun intended. It's one of those things you have to, when you read it.
Yeah, no pun intended. Excellent. So, Maxie, what do you call an ugly dinosaur?
What's an ugly dinosaur?
An eyesore.
They are getting good again. I'm so.
I know. It's like
getting people messaging us saying how good your jokes are. So
yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
you, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, perfect. So, right, okay. Deep breath. Job of the week. I just read what I put. You said it's been a big week. Off we go.
Yeah. So I've just come off shift. I'm in between two shifts. So I worked yesterday at Fireys and I'm back again at Fireys tomorrow.
Yes.
but it was a pretty steady shift yesterday. So when we're quiet, it usually means it's good. There's no one hurt or injured or need help. But on the beach, on the other hand, I did a number of days on the beach lifeguarding this week because coming into winter, a lot of the full-time guys are taking their annual leave to go travel
Yes.
and regroup from a busy summer that we've had. So I have been working on the beach a bit, and we had the exact same scenario again. A surfer with a potential spinal injury presented himself to the tower saying that he went headfirst in the sand. He had a cut all over his face from the hitting the sand, and he scorpioned himself. And it wasn't neck pain; it was more lower back, mid to lower back pain. Anyway, again, I was there, made the call, packaged him up, made sure he's all secure, got the ambos to come, and they took him away. Still waiting to hear in his condition, but I think he'll be okay. He hasn't lost any feeling or anything, but he had a bit
Yeah.
of a
Just
pins in the
being
heels and so
cautious.
on. But just talking about, the other week when I had that other surfer with a spinal injury have a fractured C3, which is a
Yes.
very serious break. I was taking no precautions. So you never know what would present themselves. Obviously, a number of first aids, a few rescues. People are still swimming this time of year, but we're only a couple of weeks off winter.
Yeah.
So, it's just make sure you look after yourselves out there. And if you do come across someone with a spinal or you do have one yourself, always remember to remain still, remain calm,
Yeah.
and try and minimize movement as much as you can. Because it's a very serious injury if things can go wrong.
Well, hopefully he's recovering well, and all the precautions and all the cautious, actions that you all took, then, we'll make sure he's looked after. So hats off to you on that one, Maxie.
It's good to get because the last couple I've kind of took control or took position to be like the person that does all the calls, and a bit of fiery crossover there. As at Bankstown, we're at rescue station, we do a lot of extrications with final boards and stokes letters and strapping and all that sort of stuff. So it's good to be able to apply the firies into the beach and knowing the commands and how to work with the ambo as well, and that. And it's good, even though the lifeguards are very proficient in what they do. There's few and far between where we have serious spinal injuries or suspected spinals. So being able to
Bring some of that.
bring the guys a little bit of up to speed about terminology, how we do it. Even thinking ahead, not just in the moment going, oh, this strap goes here. Like thinking about, okay, when we package this person, how are we going to extricate this person off the beach? How are we going to roll the person off the spine board on the ambo stretcher, and all these little things that you got to think about. So it's good. Anyway.
Amazing. And look, you've been doing a lot of drills at the fire station, and I've seen, people in stretchers and things like that on your photos and stuff. So, it's all that emergency situation, that person that's got a spinal, we said it could be on the beach, it could be, where anywhere. Yeah. So, good job, Maxie. Well done. So, tip of the week.
This week it's tides. So the video we did last year in Brisbane, Wellington Point. There's an island out there. Is it Bear? What's the island called?
King Island.
King Island. There's a walk, a natural sand walk bridge out to King Island in the low tide. So what we did 2 videos, stitched them together. We went at high tide and we went at low tide, and we talked about the hidden dangers and the risks and hazards of having big tides. It's a good video. So people that are in the Skills for Life program, check it out and learn a thing or two.
Absolutely. And whilst that looks like the most safe, serene piece of water that you could ever, look at, and no danger, but there are people that have drowned out at Wellington Point. So, don't be, complacent, because things can go wrong anywhere. So, great video, Maxie. So, crazy facts. What have you got for us this week, Maxie?
Crazy facts. Well, speaking of crazy facts, today is International Museum Day.
Okay.
Yes. So today I'm going to be talking about museums as facts.
And same, snap.
No
Can we
way.
just can we
So
just stop being the ESP? You go first, okay?
I opened the calendar today and
Yeah,
I was
we were
spinning
both in the calendar. Yeah, exactly.
spinning
So,
days, and it was
okay. Yeah. So, and I was going to say you love a museum, Maxi. So that's why. So you go first, and then I'll tell you the facts I've got
okay. All right. So
about international
probably very
museums.
similar. But yeah, the
Yeah. No.
oldest museum is believed to be the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, England. Founded in 1683, it originally housed a collection of curiosities and artifacts donated by
Hmm.
Elias Ashmole, including art, natural history, specimens, and archaeological finds.
Wow. Oldest
Yeah.
Oxford. Interesting.
Museums serve various purposes, including education, research, preservation, and entertainment. They provide opportunities for learning about history, art, science, and culture through expeditions,
Hmm.
programs, and interactive experiences. The Louvre Museum in Paris, France, is the world's largest art museum and one of the most visited museums globally. It houses thousands of works of art, including the iconic Mona Lisa and
Yeah.
Venus de Milo.
Yeah.
Last but not least, museums often rely on donations, grants, and government funding to operate and maintain their collections. Some also generate revenue through admission fees, memberships, gift shops, and special events.
Hmm.
And speaking about that, a lot of the museums that I've been lucky to visit across the world have been
Yeah.
free. So a lot of the big good ones, the natural history ones,
Yeah.
the main city ones are
Yeah.
free. So if you are up for it, go visit your local museum and learn a thing or two about natural history or about your city.
Absolutely. So, following on nicely for that, anyone would think we planned this, Maxi. So, I went for 5 of the top 10 museums in the world.
Okay, that's
So,
good.
here we go. So, this has come from the smart people at the National Geographic. So, basically, they've got number one, the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., where we have been. Um, it's the largest research and museum complex with 19 museums and galleries, the
Wow,
National Zoological Park, and various research stations. If we'd have known that, Maxie,
would have been there.
we'd have never got you out of Washington DC. So basically, some of the attractions that are in there, Dorothy's ruby red slippers. How cool would they be
Yeah,
to see? All the dresses of the first ladies, the very original Star Spangled Banner, just an incredible kind of the Wright brothers 1903
right.
flyer aircraft,
Yeah,
the Spirit of St. Louis, and the Apollo 11 command module at the National Air and Space Museum. If we'd have known that, Maxie, we'd have been all over that.
100%.
Number two, you just mentioned it, the Louvre in Paris. Have you been?
Yes, I have been. Yeah, it's
You been
beautiful.
in?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I've been, but couldn't go in because they were on strike that day.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the
It's
Mona Lisa.
nice. Yeah.
Have you seen the Mona Lisa?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it? Is it? It's smaller than you think, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is, and a lot of people in there, and it's surrounded by bulletproof and fireproof glass. And yeah,
Yeah,
so it's very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Number three. I can't even speak. The Acropolis Museum, Athens, Greece. Have you been to that?
No, I haven't,
No,
but
no,
that's
no.
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty cool. The State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia. Maybe we'll hold off going there for a while. And then number five, we went together, the British Museum in London.
That's a good museum.
Very cool, very cool. And then, yeah, some of the others rounding off, I'll reel them out. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. The Vatican Museum in the Vatican in Italy. The Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. And then there's one Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, Netherlands. So,
Okay,
few people all around the world find a good museum and go and,
check
you
them out.
know, you may be someone like me that scans through, or you may be someone like Maxie that reads every piece of information.
Love it. Love it.
Whichever you are, go and enjoy your day. So, yeah, hats off. And what you said about many of them being free and they survive on donations and, they've got a cafe and a bookshop and all those kind of things. Just go and support them.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hats off to the museum.
Right.
And we both said the same thing.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Bizarre.
All righty. So,
Right,
right, what do we got next now? Reflection.
reflection. Yeah, reflection this week here, Leigh. You put in the notes, Emily Henderson, home.
Yeah, Emily Hendo. So she just literally within the last hours landed back home for the first time in 5 years. She's been in Australia. She came out as a incredibly shy backpacker and has been, got to. We met her on the beach in England 6 years ago, and just watching her kick her goals, and she's just first time gone home, seeing her families.
Because she's a part of the Kangaroos up at the Gold Coast, the AFL Women's Club. So she's always kicking goals up there.
She is literally kicking goals, and she's just been watching footy at 35,000 feet, and she's landed back. She's told me she's landed. I am going to see her over there in a couple of weeks or so, and it made me smile because knowing her journey of coming out to live in Australia, and she's been lifeguarding at one of our theme parks. So enjoy being home, Emily. She's always there to support us, and she's going to come back to Australia. But I just thought it was a nice thing we met her on that beach, and she's just gone back home, and I'm going to see some of the crew over there in a couple of weeks, and Em's going to be there. How bizarre is that? So. Nice story. So, breaking news is she has found Greg's, and she's had her first Greg's. Yeah. So anybody that loves Greg's Bakery will know what that means. So there you go. Em's back. So that was that. And playlist.
Yeah. So Have a Nice Day by the Stereophonics.
This came on I've got it in my favourites in my thing, and it came on, and it's just a good, really upbeat, have a nice day. And I thought, as I've been toing and throwing in and out all over this week, I've been having some good tunes on my radio, and that one came in, and I thought, oh, that's one for the playlist. So there you go. Have a listen, Maxie. It's a good one for running. You'll like that for running.
Yep.
Got a good beat to it.
It's added to the playlist, so check it
out. Excellent. And then, rule for the rule book.
Rule for the rule book, and we do say this a bit. Just stay humble.
Stay humble.
Just, don't get too ahead of yourself, and just if there's a few spot fires, just focus on yourself, and just don't stick your head out too high, because
rub
success into other people's faces. Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone's doing their own thing. What you can do is just be kind and support, and just be positive around those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw a reel, just a little reel from Robin Williams. I actually shared it on my Instagram story this morning, and I just thought, whoa, so true. And he said, no ego, no, just like, and I just thought, it's just like stay humble. In this, there's so many people shouting and making noise for making noise's sake, and you know what? I think sometimes just don't feel you got to compete, because you really don't.
You don't. Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone's on their own path, and everyone takes things and learns things different to everyone else. So
everyone's
unique and different. So don't try and
absolutely
force someone to be someone they're not, because it's never going to work.
Yeah, exactly right. So that was the thing. There is our wrap up, Maxie. 34 minutes. Always good to chat.
Yes, and I hope everyone has had a great week, and is going to have a great weekend. And we will see you next Friday.
We will, for sure. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe.
See ya.
Bye.